So now we're going to learn how to make a calculated type question. And it's a little different than a number sample question. So let's go add a new question here to our assessment. And I'm going to call it a calculated. Okay. We will make our question type calculated number here. And specific number, let's make it used by all. And let's go look at the writing questions help here. I'm going to go down to calculated. And this tells us here, like what has to be in there. And really what's required is just this $ answer and calls what the answer is going to be. The calculated is a little different than number, specifically because you can have more things than just a specific number. So for example, if you want it to be 2 to the 4th power as your answer, that accepts that. Or if you want fractions, or multiple options as answers. Let's say we're like here, it can be 3, 5, or 7. Okay, so it allows you to have multiple options for that, but it's very similar to the regular number style. So let's go move this around here. Let's go, oops, here we go. Okay, and let's go set some variables here, and let's just say answer equals, in quotes, to the 4th power here. Okay. Then from there, we want to make the question text, and we'll say just write. And here's a nice little sidebar. If you do back ticks there, you do 2 to the 4th, it's going to give a LaTeX rendering of that. So let's go quick save and preview. You can see write 2 to the 4th, and 2 to the 4th power is what I'm looking for, and submit that. Great. Now, does it accept, well, 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16. We'll accept 16 here. And notice it does, and we wanted to specify 2 to the 4th. So how do we do that? Let's go back to our writing questions help here, and we want to specify certain things or answer formats here. So there's different things that we can specify. If we want a fraction, reduced number, different things we can allow here, scientific notation, but I don't see anything specifically that deals with exponents, okay? And so how would we go do that? Well, one of the things, and this is a little, you be careful using this, it's called require times, okay? So the require times here, and it says, it's basically telling us that we're going to set a requirement of how the student has to write their answer. Okay, so here I'm going to do $ require times. Okay, I typed that right. Oops, let's just go copy and paste it here. Makes it easier. There we go. You see it's green, it means you did it right. Require times, and here we want to have, I want the student specifically to write 2 one time. So I know 16, if they write 16, it'll be incorrect, but here I'm going to say, hey, you have to write the number 2 equals 1 time. Okay, notice here we have whatever character we want. We say has to equal 1 time right there, and that's going to kind of give us an assurance that the 2 to the 4th power is 16. If they write 16, this will cause it to be incorrect because 2 has to be written 1 time. And notice here I forgot the answer box down below, and that is actually okay. The default is to have the answer box just at the bottom after all this text here. So let's go look at this now. Quick save and preview. And we have 2 to the 4th here, and I'm going to say 16, but that's incorrect. We want to write 2 to the 4th power, so 2 to the 4th power like that. And then again, they give you little functions that help writing things. Submit, and now we have it. Now we definitely want to be careful with using this require times, especially when we start getting at algorithmic questions that we can apply with the randomizers, because a lot of times what we'll see is people will use this and then say, okay, 2 can only be 1 time, but let's say the answer itself has 2 squared. So if I have this here as 2 squared like this, if I have the required times as 2 equals 1, let's see what that looks like here. Oops, let's go make this here. Okay. So now 2 squared is my answer. I need to write that. That's what it's telling me here is the answer. But if I write 2 squared, it's going to be marked incorrect because this here overrid it and said, hey, 2 has to equal exactly 1 time. So we want to be careful using required times with that, just to make sure it covers all the possibilities. But it can be a good tool to narrow what you're looking for there. All right, so now we know how to do a basic calculated number. Like I said, if you use this options here, you can see different types of, fractions and whatnot for just different decimal variables you can put on there, and limitations, what you're looking for a calculated number. But here's just showing you the basics of a calculated number.